On this edition of ET Now on the Go, we are at Taj Falaknuma Palace. Once upon a time, it was the residence of the Nizam of Hyderabad. Come along with me as I explore the palace, the history, and the royalty. And as I walk up the stairs of the palace, and you have the petals falling on you, you can only imagine what the grandeur was like. And now I'm here at the main entrance of the palace building. And with me, come and explore what sort of history and heritage this palace holds. And here I am at the Regal Library, and this is not the only place where you have history, grandeur, and magnificence. I will take you through the journey of what exactly lies in the heart of this palace. We've seen the grandeur and the majesty of Taj Falaknuma Palace. I have with me Asif Arastu, who will take me through the history of Taj Falaknuma Palace, isn't it?
So Falaknuma Palace attains a pinnacle of elegance and sophistication which surpasses all the palaces of Hyderabad. The aerial view of the palace shows that this palace takes the shape of a scorpion. The total acreage of the palace used to be 232 acres and the total built-up area was 1 million square feet. The Nawab entertained guests from different parts of the world. The first royal guest to visit the palace was the Grand Duke Alexander of Russia, followed by the last Tsar Nicholas II of Russia. This is the main entrance to Falaknuma. The room here is called the Marble Vestibule. The palace mostly is comprising of the European style of Rococo and the Baroque style of interiors. All these paintings on the ceiling create a three-dimensional optical illusion to the viewer. We'll now proceed to the room inside here, a special room which was actually called the waiting room, but Nizam dedicated the room to his English teacher. The sixth Nizam was the first Nizam who was exposed to a Western style education. You'll find here a huge oil portrait of Mrs. Claude Clerk, who served as the English teacher of the sixth Nizam from 1871, when the sixth Nizam was just 4.5 years old. We'll now walk to the office which was used by the sixth Nizam when he stayed in this palace between 1897 until 1911. In a certain period of his rule, he never repeated his attire twice. Just to keep the suits he got stitched for himself, he got built the longest walk-in wardrobe in the world. An infant portrait of the 8th Nizam, Mukarram Jah Bahadur. He was 34 years old when he succeeded his grandfather, finding himself enmeshed in financial chaos and debts. These statues which you see, the marble statues, these are the 9 muses of Greek mythology. They were sculpted in Italy by an Italian sculptor, Pietro Lazzarini, using one of the finest quality marble, the Carrara. The wooden ceiling you see on the top is actually 57 feet high from the ground floor. We'll now head to a unique room in this palace, which is now given the name of Jade Room. This is the only room in the palace which had gone through a complete change of interiors in the year 1912 on the instruction of the 7th Nizam. Did you know that the 7th Nizam never stayed in this palace even for a single night, because he thought it as a bad omen to stay in the same palace where his father had died. And this is the wonderful Jade Terrace of Falaknuma. We are standing at 2,100 feet above sea level. Still, it is the highest point in the city of Hyderabad from the point of view of geology. The tiles in the corridor of Falaknuma were specially ordered from England. They are called encaustic tiles. All these tiles are without any color degradation since 135 years. The Jade Terrace was also the favorite place where the sixth Nizam loved having breakfast in early winter mornings, and the Viceroys of British India loved being photographed at the J Terrace. And this was the original ballroom of Falaknuma Palace. Nawab Vikharulma used to call it as the ballroom in paradise. He invited ball dancers for the entertainment of the European nobility who stayed in this palace. The Viceroy and the Viceroy were seated on the elevated platform with 2 chairs provided for them to enjoy the ball dance. Though there are only 3 chandeliers adorning the ballroom, the angle and height at which the mirrors are placed on opposite corners give an optical illusion of infinite chandeliers. We'll now be heading to the grandest room of the palace, the 101 dining hall. So this is one of the most beautiful dining halls in the world since 1892. The dining table you see here is 101 feet long. It was made in 7 pieces and joined together, resting on 32 legs. The uniqueness of this dining table is it's 101 feet long and it can exactly accommodate 101 people on this custom-made chairs. Also, this dining hall takes the shape of an ellipse, a geometrical figure in mathematics. Due to its properties, an acoustic phenomenon occurs here. A person seated at that corner of the table when they speak in a silent dining hall could be clearly heard at that corner of the table. That is the reason the Nawab and the Nizams always sat in the center of the dining table when they hosted feasts. From 1892, mostly continental cuisine was served for the guests on this table. The 6th Nizam's Khan Sama could prepare 30 varieties of biryanis for the Nizam.
And as I step out into the courtyard of the palace, as you can hear, a faint sound behind me, and that's the sound of Qawwali. The Qawwali music, it's known as the soul of Hyderabad. So come along with me as I sit down to experience surreal music at Palace. And it's magnificent to see the old city of Hyderabad right here at the palace. You get the bird's eye view and you can hear the sound of azan in the background because it's the holy month of Ramzan. So we spent an entire day at the Taj Falaknuma Palace. Palace that has a lot of history, a lot of heritage, and now it is blending it modernity as well. We are here at the dining table, which can seat about 101 diners at one go. I've had my meal. It's time for me to have the dessert. But for all of you, there's a lot more waiting, so don't miss the special episode of Eating Now on the Go Hyderabad edition.